What's up, everybody? What's going on tonight? What's going on, Wagwan? Do a quick sound check. On Wagwan. Do a quick sound check. Amazing. All righty. All righty. Let's get into it. We got a lot to get into. We got a lot to get into. HOE-FLATION, selective submission, chivalry for equals. Okay? But first, we got a new format. So at the beginning of these live streams, I'm going to do all my shout outs from either videos that I've dropped where I said, all right, if you comment this and that, then I'll give you a shout out, or new subscribers. All right, so I'm going to shout out the new subscribers. But first, I'm going to shout out Axis PCC for the comment. They're great, but they're not Kate. All right, they're great, but they're not Kate. They're great, but they're not Kate. Shout outs to Axis PCC. All right, Axis PCC. Shout outs to Andrew Follett. Shout outs to Mark Newton. Shout outs to Buddha the Black Dog. Ooh, ooh. Uh, Satchel Pierce. Big shout outs to Satchel Pierce. Or the news. Mhm. Mhm. Shout outs to Aaron Cameron, you know, Aaron Cameron, Vic Gabriel, VIK Gabriel. Shout outs to Roland Holder, my my guy Roland Holder. Or I'm sorry. Shout outs to Ronald. Ronald Holder. Shout outs to Ronald Holder. Sorry about that. Um, Shout outs to Dari Johnson, Munir, Hercule, Porio, and Jawad 1189. Gotta get them shout outs out the way, you know what I'm talking about? Gotta get those shout outs out the way. Alrighty. So, what is HOE-FLATION? Let's get in the chat. Let's talk about HOE-FLATION. What is HOE-FLATION? Let's get the chat going. Let's get the chat going. We're going to talk about HOE-FLATION. Mhm. Mhm. We're going to talk about HOE-FLATION. So, inflation is what? Inflation is when you are charged more money for less product. Okay. So, it, for example, gas prices go up. So, you're going to have to pay more for this gallon than you would. Or the amount you would have normally paid for a gallon is less. You're going to get less than the gallon that you would have normally gotten for that amount. Okay. So it costs way more to get things, and you have to spend more. In most cases, end up with less, even though you're spending more. You're getting less. Okay. hmm In 1950. Mm-mm-mm. Get the chat going. Get the chat going. Let's get some questions. Get the questions. Mhm. Alrighty. Alrighty. Cozy Sim should be popping on here a little bit later on. We'll see what happens. Mm. We'll see what happens. Alright. So I've been doing a lot of observation lately. And what I've come to notice, all right, a lot of a lot of complaints on both ends, on the women's side and the men's side. The women are complaining about things, and then the men are complaining about things. Now, there's two sides to every story. So when I listen to the complaints of men, I sit there and listen. I get the story, and as I'm listening, I'm also actively engaged in finding solutions in my head for problems. If there is a solution, a simple, and most of the time, the solution is simple. But people try to overcomplicate the solutions most of the time. People look for some type of well thought out, over explained explanation to their problems when really most of the time it's very, very simple. A very simple solution. Most of the problems can be eliminated by simply stop ignoring the red flags. When you get the red flags, trust that. Do not go away from that red flag. If a woman tells you that she's loose, believe that she's loose. Don't ignore that. Don't think that she would tighten up just for you. Woman, a loose woman is not just going to tighten up just for you. Okay? Maybe she might pretend for a while, right? She might pretend for a while. But fellas, we can't stop. We have to stop trying to reform and tighten down loose women. Okay? It's not going to work out well. It never does. In fact, it never works out well when you put your resources out there, you put your neck out there, and you try to invest in a loose woman. It backfires all the time. So, hoflation. When we go back and we look in history, look at our great grandparents, right? At that time, a man, the average man, right? The average man did not have that hard of a time to find a wife, right? It wasn't that hard to find a wife. And also, when you did find a wife, the things that were unwritten rules, unwritten expectations, right? Those things were much more conducive to a healthy, successful, lasting marriage than what we get today. Okay. And part of that also, I believe, is by legislation. Okay. Because legislation changed the dynamics of marriage and unity. Okay. Laws were passed into play to make it beneficial for women to leave men in marriages, especially if the man had a good amount of money saved up. Because the incentives for a woman were get a man, marry a man, make sure he has money. You can then leave that man, take half his money, and live your best life. Oh, liberation, liberation, right? For women. Oh, we're so liberated. We get to take half our husband's money and go live our best life. Imagine a system like that. The that incentivizes women to leave their husbands and go blow blow the money and live in a loose fashion. Okay. A worldly fashion, as they like to call it. So that affects the children and on down, and that is generational degeneracy. That is what perpetuates this generational degeneracy right there. That is one of the major contributors to the generational degeneracy that we are right now witnessing in live time. Okay, we are right now witnessing that. So HOE-FLATION says that again, a man today has to work 5 times as hard to get and secure a woman who is 20 times worse than his grandmother or great grandmother. At this point, probably great grandmothers because we're getting a little bit older. But again, we go back to the grandmothers, great grandmothers. They're knitting. They know how to cook from a meal from scratch. They're homemakers. They take pride in that. They're feminine. They are feminine. Okay. Now, careful though, because those women in the 60s started being fed that liberation stuff like that. So that's why I like to say great grandparents, because a lot of our grandparents were the start of this perpetuated nonsense that we sit here and abide by today. Because a lot of this nonsense started with our great grandparents who were fed these liberation lies and and got us to believe these concepts that are degenerate concepts, right? So when we're sitting here today and I see women complaining about men who don't want to be the leader or provider, well, I ask you, are you working? Yes. In most cases, a woman who's working, if a woman is working, why would she not want to contribute to the bills, the expenses? What are we doing here? If you're dealing with a woman who's working, then she should be working to make it easier on you. Otherwise, what are you working for? Are you working so I can sponsor you and then you get to just use your money the way you want to, freely and loosely? No, that's not what we're doing. If you're working, it's so that I don't have to work 2 jobs, so that I have more time to spend with you, so on and so forth. More energy, so on and so forth. If you're just out here working so that you can spend your money as the way that you want to spend it, and then expect me to sponsor your lifestyle, then you got me messed up. Fellas, you have to stop sponsoring these women's lifestyle just because they tell you that that's the way things are supposed to be, because they're not. Things are not supposed to be that way. For one, if you're dealing with a woman who is not working, you know she's not working, so you should instinctively know you're going to have to sponsor certain things, especially at a certain point, because you're dealing with a woman has no income. But a woman who's working, you should then assume that she would be wanting to contribute to the relationship. Unless she says, "Hey, I don't want to work," from the beginning, okay? Making that clear that that's something that she doesn't want to do. And then you can determine whether that's something that you want to move forward with yourself. But if she's working, then it's fair to assume that she's okay with contributing to bills because she's already contributing to bills. So the only thing that would happen is that if y'all are going 50-50 on bills, she now doesn't have to pay 100% of her bills, and now she only has to pay 50% of her bills. So you are still providing for her. Let's not get it twisted. You paying 50% of the bills, that's still providing. Okay? Let's be clear. But again, do not be out here sponsoring these women and they're working, especially when they're working full-time jobs. What are they doing with their money? And you're paying all the bills? Come on now. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't If she's working a full-time job, she clearly wants to be a provider. And if she's providing, she should be providing something beneficial to the relationship. And if she's not doing that, then what is she doing? Okay? So let's be clear. Don't ever let a woman make you feel like this because you want her to pay half and she's working a full-time job. That again, that should be an expectation. If she's working a full-time job, she should be working that job in order to contribute to whatever you all have going on in y'all's relationship. Whatever situation you are in, she's working full-time, she should be contributing to the cause. Like I said, otherwise there's no reason to be out there working. What are we doing? What are we doing? And as a man, we take it back to now. This is something you can take back to just a couple generations. Our grandfathers, our great grandfathers, an average woman knew she was an average woman. And an average woman had no problem being with an average man. And an average woman would not make an average man feel like he's less than a man. But today, an average man is made to feel like he's less than. And it doesn't make sense. So this is where HOE-FLATION comes from, because a guy has to then do all these extra things to get these women who have selective submission. Selective submission are the women who sit there and say, "Oh, I want to be dominated. I want a leader. I want a masculine man, but I just have to have a man who has $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, hundred some $1,000 a year in order to submit to him. Otherwise, I don't feel like he's good enough for me to submit to." Which again, that's the masculine nature. That is propaganda. That is a mental weaponization of the women's mentality, right? Because we sit here and listen to this. Listen to this. We're talking about a woman who's a five meets a guy who's a five. The woman who's a five thinks that she's better than the guy who's a five. This woman who's a five also thinks that she's a 10 because she's getting railed and derailed, nailed and derailed, flipped and flipped and skipped. Okay, and she's getting smashed and dashed by these guys who are maybe making a lot of money, athletes, popular in the town, whatever the hell. The guys who are running through everybody. She's getting ran through by them, but she won't give you the proper time of day. because she's already getting the D from somewhere else, not understanding that that guy is never going to commit to her because he knows she's a five and he's knocking down tens, eights, sevens, nines, fours, fives, sixes. He's knocking them all down. She just so happens to be one of them. But she has that in her mind that because she can get screwed by this guy, that she can actually tie him down, which I've made a video on this as well. Women will spend their early years, their best years, early years, getting screwed and subdued by Tyrone, Jerome, Day Day, Keith, Clyde, Irv, um, Thomas, and then expect you to invest more in them than the guys that they were slutted out by, right? They want you to now sponsor them when all these other guys, they were just a good time. They were just a fun time. They were just a shake and flake, right? They were a pump and dump for all the other guys. But they want you to actually sponsor them and take care of them and protect them. Meanwhile, the other guys who they already gave it up to, they didn't do any of that for them. They just and they never gave those other guys a hard time either. Because if they did, those guys wouldn't have dealt with them at all. You see the difference? They'll give you a hard time. They'll make you work for it. You have to earn it. But all these other guys, they didn't have to do that. They just got down. They just got got in there and got out. Gutted out and slutted out. Okay? But you have to take care of her financially, mentally, emotionally, so on and so forth. That's what I'm saying. You're paying more and getting less back in return. You have to now deal with the promiscuity, her own insecurity, her own selfishness, her own um uh eagerness to be right and give you a hard time because now she's comparing all these experiences. Oh, well, such and such did it like this. Okay. Now you getting compared to all these guys in her past, right? And she's going to give you a hard time. She's going to give you a hard time because of all the baggage that she's built up, okay? From getting thrashed and trashed, mashed and dashed, passed and smashed. She's going to use all that built up baggage in your detriment. Okay, you're going to have to carry that load. That baggage, okay, is heavy, and you're going to have to carry that load. That's why it's very important to vet for promiscuity, especially in the past. If they have a history of leaving for frivolous reasons in long-term ending relationships out of the blue for for little to nothing, they'll do that to you as well. So do not ignore these things. Proper vetting. And fellas, stop being so desperate for sex that you sit here and devalue yourself because you put up with all these things and it perpetuates this behavior. Men, you let your girlfriends talk crazy to you in front of your friends, in front of your family. You let your girlfriends and wives and other, so on and so forth talk down to you in front of your loved ones. That's not a good look. And you put that out there. What do you expect them to do? And you put up with that. What do you expect to happen? What do you expect to transpire from that point forward? You think it's going to get better? Hell no, it's going to get worse. When she disrespects you the first time and gets away with it, you think that she's going to just somehow say, you know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't have disrespected that man. I don't know what I was thinking. Let me take some accountability for my own behavior and improve it. What woman has ever said that? In the Put it in the comments. Name a woman who's ever said those words. Okay? So, you all, as we all as men, we talk about these women and the way that they carry themselves, so on and so forth. Rightfully so. But when we sit here and we go on social media and we blow up their DMs and tell them how beautiful they are, and we tell them that they're queens, and we tell them that they deserve this, when they go on there and talk about their baby daddies and this and their husbands and their boyfriends and all this, and we go in there and say, "Oh, you don't need him, girl. You can do so much better. I'll take care of you." Oh, all right. Y'all keep doing that, and y'all the same ones complaining about the results you're getting. Okay. I'm not here complaining. I'm here expressing, observing, telling it like it is, putting things in perspective, and hopefully I can help someone and prevent men going through this type of stuff and children whose lives aren't going to be affected because maybe their parents heard something I said and decided to take the proper vetting stages. Okay, something like hopefully something good will come of this. But what I'm also saying is we cannot sit here and complain about these women, but then we sit here and validate their behavior. We the ones as men who are validating what they're doing. We have to stop that. We have to stop sponsoring them on OnlyFans. We have to stop sponsoring. We realize these Instagram models actually get paid to be on Instagram. These girls with the BBLs in the silicone and all this stuff that they put in their lips, this collagen and big old. I mean, I don't know what men find that attractive. I don't see any men that be like, oh, I really want a girl that gets Botox. Oh yeah, I need a girl that got that plastic surgery and a silicone nose and I've never seen it. I've never seen it. These women are competing with not even they're not even trying to go for not, they don't even understand what men want. For one, they're not even trying to understand what men want because they're so used to competing with degenerate women that they see on TV, that they see on reality shows, that they see on social media, they see getting thousands and thousands of likes on their pictures on Instagram. Look, fellas, look, fellas, if we stop liking these Instagram chicks pictures, they have no leverage over us at that point. It's going to bring them back to life, back to reality. Mm, 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 mm. It's going to bring them back to reality because they're not going to sit there and be able to hide behind Instagram and provide a lavish lifestyle off being a hoe. But we allow these women to live lavishly off being a hoe. And so, guess what? That's what they do because they are very materialistic in nature. They have a materialistic nature, and we provide them with a way to fund their materialistic nature by constantly um, funding these weaponized ways of thinking and operating on us. The we're simply fueling the engine that was designed to drive us into the ground. Imagine that. Men are fueling the engine that was designed to drive us into the ground. That is incredible. That is incredible. We are playing against ourselves in this game. Every time we go out there and and I'm talking about guys, you're messaging girls that you don't even have a chance with. and you know you don't have a chance with. But you'll still tell her that she's a queen, even though she's not. And it's not that you don't have a chance with her necessarily because she's just way up here. In most cases, you just know that she's just way out there. She's so far gone that there's no reason to even validate what she's doing. But you're going to. And that's exactly how this shit cycles. Because as long as their DMs are full, you can't tell them nothing. Because when the DMs are full, those likes are up, their pockets are going to be padded. And if her pockets are padded, you can't tell her nothing. Oh, good luck with that. We see it time and time again when I go out here and I react to these videos. The women, the broke women, the everyday women, we've seen how delusional they are, especially in the bigger cities. But we've seen how delusional the everyday woman is, even just like I said, with 25 to 125 followers, just an everyday woman. But you give that everyday woman OnlyFans, and then you give that everyday woman OnlyFans that is booming, that's bringing in some dollars, some ducats, some chips. Yeah, it's a whole that gets amplified by 1,000. Then that level of delusion gets amplified tenfold when you give those OnlyFans chicks this avenue to talk down on a everyday guy who goes to work, who's actually these are the guys who are sponsoring these women. The everyday guys who go to work, they work anywhere from 40 to 60 some hours a week, right? That's a lot of time. So then they don't have that much time to do other shit. So then guess what? They're like, oh, well, I'll just get on OnlyFans and jerk off and interact because it feels like they're interacting with someone that way. Okay. And so then you're sponsoring these. This is everyday guys, the same guys who these OnlyFans chicks would say they would never deal with. The carpenters, the plumbers, the electricians, the construction workers, the firefighters, the guys working with their hands, the mechanics. Okay, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, so on and so forth. These are the men who are sending out the money and sponsoring these things and swiping and liking it up, liking it up, liking it up. Okay. And these are the same guys who these OnlyFans chicks say, oh, I would never deal with a guy like that. He has to be making 300K, or he has to be driving a $300,000 car, and the ring he buys me has to be worth someone's mortgage. And this is really going on. This is really going on. I'm not making this shit up. These aren't just hypotheticals. These are things that I've actually heard on the internet. And if you've been watching the videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about if you tuned in to this point. If you've been tuning in regularly, then you've heard what I just said. You've heard what I just said. $300,000 ring is what this OnlyFans chick is saying that she deserves. A $300,000. No. The ring has to be worth someone's mortgage, and she doesn't deal with guys unless they drive a $300,000 car, and her coochie makes more than Bill Gates. A woman actually said this. An OnlyFans chick. And this is the and she's an average chick. She's not even a oh my, a double looker. She's not even a double looker. These average chicks go on there, put on any type of makeup to change their appearance to make them look like whoever the hell. And again, the guys who are sponsoring this, fueling this, they are fueling the weapon that is being used against them. This OnlyFans stuff is hurting men in the sexual marketplace because women don't have to deal with you if they can realize this, okay? If a woman can pay for whatever she wants, screw whoever she wants, then why would she ever quote unquote settle down with just one guy when all these other guys are constantly funding her lifestyle? She has all these different guys funding her lifestyle so she can do whatever she wants and go wherever she wants, and she can then screw whoever she wants. So this is the type of things that we are sitting here perpetuating, influencing, funding. We are literally funding this, funneling money into this, right? We are funneling money into this. And this is exactly what has men in the situation that they're in. Because these OnlyFans chicks who would not be in positions to support themselves, and these Instagram models who would not be in positions, they're getting sponsorships and all type of shit. All right. The platforms that they're on are paying them by the views, interactions, so on and so forth. So then they feel like some type of celebrity. They have some type of celebrity complex and feel like they're actually better than us, the people who are actually doing respectable work. They think because they're earning that type of salary that they're better than us. And we are the ones who are driving that way of thinking by continuously fueling and funding them. It makes no sense. We have to stop this shit, people. Fellas, we got to get better. Stop sending your money to OnlyFans chicks. I don't care if it's $20, if it's 15. Delete your OnlyFans accounts. And I'm doing a video on that too. I think OnlyFans is actually going to be crashing soon because of some fraudulent behaviors in there. But Instagram too, Facebook too, Snapchat too. Stop going on there and validating these slurs. And it's so sad because we see it all the time. You see a girl and she's in a relationship, posting with her man. You don't ever s- respond to those pics, but then as soon as she posts that selfie, it's sure enough, it's got a little cleavage in it too. And oh my, them duck lips are poking out. You right back in those DMs. HOE-FLATION. Okay? Stop putting yourself in that position. She still got the social medias. She's still in the streets. But we have to sit here and deal with a woman who has social media, all this different mediums to stay in communication with all these different guys. They still want traditional behavior patterns from us. They still want us to protect. They still want us to provide, right? They still want us to protect. They still want us to provide. They still want us to, and on top of this, besides protecting and providing, now they now want us to be monogamous. They still want us to thrive in social settings and bring the correct type of attention whenever we go out. Okay, they still want all these things from us. When we get in return is a hard time, a high body counted woman with a bad reputation, and sex. Come on, this is what I'm talking about. You have a much higher chance that you're going to deal with a promiscuous woman these days. Okay, and not only that, but the amount of different ways that she has access to these, to unlimited men at any time. I mean, technically, if Elon Musk or Bill Gates wanted to, they could just go online, type in your girl's name, and hit her up right to the DM. It'll go right to the phone right now. That's how easy it is. Okay? That's how easy it is. How many how many women have y'all dealt with? Men, let me know in the comments. How many women do you know who have cooked you a meal from scratch? How many? Let's get the likes up. Matter of fact, we need to get the likes up, or I'm gonna have to pause this show. Get the likes up ASAP, or the show is getting paused. We're gonna take a recess. Chat, where you at? Get these likes up. Where we at in the chat? Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Mm-mm. Hey, Cozy, you gonna have to hit the link. Hit the link I sent you, Cozy. Shout outs to Real Bridgewater. It's Real Bridgewater. You got any questions today? I know you like to talk crazy sometime. What's going on? Holla at me. I've been dropping gems. I've been dropping jewels out here. I'm giving y'all jewels for free today. You know? I'm dropping free gems. Dropping free gems. Dropping good coin out here. Good coin. Let's get some questions. We gotta get some questions, y'all. We gotta get some questions, some interactions, and we gonna hop on off. I done I done talked enough now. If we ain't got no interaction. Ain't nobody got nothing to say tonight. Y'all out partying and bullshit and party. Y'all out there bullshitting and partying. Cozy might be hopping on here. hmm Let's see if Cozy gonna join the live stream or not. What y'all think? Press one in the chat if you think Cozy is gonna join the stream. Press one in the chat if you think Cozy will join the stream. Hold on. Hold on. Not even a D on the end of the hold. Pause. Hold on. Says Rail Bridgewater. Let's see what she has to say when she returns. Cozy Sims, where you at, man? Where Where you at? This is just soda water, by the way. This is just soda water. Mm. Rail Bridgewater says, "How do you feel about sugar daddy relationships like that pastor and the 18-year-old girl?" Sugar daddy relationships have been going on from the longest of times, and women seem to enjoy sugar daddies. Okay, without sugar daddies, whew, who knows where a lot of some of these women would be, right? Um, a pastor, a pastor and 18-year-old girl. Obviously, I think that is. I mean, I think it's common. We got all these people that are putting these people on pedestals, and then that's what happens when you put someone on a pedestal like that. They're going to typically take advantage of their position in some way, shape, or fashion. Okay, that's why I say you got to stop worshiping these celebrities and all any type of anyone. Okay, don't put them on a higher level than you are, unless you're a POS, and we know. Unless you're an OF chick, stop putting people up on a pedestal. Eh, yeah. Oh yeah. These questions is weak today, but it's all good. I pretty much said most of what I had to say. Oh, actually, there's an analogy that that I was actually wanting to break down. So, uh, where do you draw the line between pedophile and sugar daddy then? So for example, look at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is like 73 and his woman is like 22, something like that. 23, or he's 72 and his chick is 23, I believe. She wants that. Whoever her parents are raised her in a way that is apparently okay. And we live in a country where 18 is the legal age of sexual intercourse for any state, or in any act, for as far as I know. Once you're 18, it's up. Okay, you can do that. I'm talking about the states where obviously um what prostitution is obviously illegal and all that other stuff. But some places you can get down with it in the United States. But what I'm saying is that's basically what she's doing. But you also have to realize that Bill Belichick is rich. Why would a rich man, okay? Why would a rich man who can have any woman he wants to have deal with an older, more argumentative, more experienced, aka more thrashings and dashings and smashings and pashings and thrashings and trashings Okay, more baggage, more arguments, more trauma. Why would Bill Belichick, who's probably most definitely at the later end of his life, right? Most likely at the latter end of his life. Why would Bill Belichick, who again can have any woman he wants to have, deal with an older lady when he doesn't have to? Legally, he's within the rights to do so. And if she wants, she clearly wants to engage. She clearly wants to be with Bill for the thrill. But again, what's the problem? If she's with it and he's with it, what's the problem? You you all want to sit here and talk about these guys pedophilia. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Let's pull back on that. An 18-year-old chick, we're not going to even compare that to pedophilia, right? She's 18. Now, is it a little weird? Maybe. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it is. But guess what? It's legal, right? It's legal. It's consensual. It's legal and it's consensual. Just like OF. Now, what I'm saying, why would Bill Belichick pay? Because that's literally what it's coming down to. He's paying. Why would he pay if only thing he's probably getting out of this chick is probably sex? Probably that's it. Probably doesn't really get much out of her other than sex. And he probably doesn't expect much out of her other than that. But I guarantee you this, guarantee she's not giving him a hard time, except for in that area. That's the only hard time she's giving him. So that's where I stand with that. hmm And and there's women who are in their 30s who have sugar daddies that are in their 70s and 80s and stuff like that. There's women who are in their 50s who have sugar daddies that are in their 70s and 80s and so on and so forth. Women of all ages have sugar daddies. Some women at 18 have a sugar daddy who's 35, 42, 50. Yeah, straight off the block. And again, there's another girl turning 18 every day. There's another girl coming of age every day. Younger, tighter, nicer, right? All things that men enjoy. Youth, purity, youth and purity correlate because the older you get, the more opportunities that you've had to be tainted. And you're obviously gaining age. hmm hmm Yes. I'm not seeing many questions. I don't think Cozy gonna make it. We're almost at the hour mark. Once we get to that hour mark, y'all know I put in my hours. You feel me? I'm true to that. Oh, looky here. Speaking of the
Boy,
himself,
tap.
what is going on? Wagwan, bruv. Wagwan.
Yes, sir. Rastafari. Stupid that. Where will we? What am I
How
missing?
we doing, man?
Man,
Hmm?
maintaining, brother. I said, what? Let me hop. We're gonna hop right in. Ready for what? What you been on, man?
Talking about HOE-FLATION, selective submissions, chivalry for equals. I haven't even got to that actually. Um, I was kind of going in on the HOE-FLATION thing, smoked them, broke it down. My take. You go ahead and tell us what you think about HOE-FLATION and why it is that today's men have to put in so much more work for so much less in return.
What I think about that is, I mean, it's a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a lot harder. And then if you sit back and see what you're really working for, it's like, is it even worth working for? Type shit. Because what do they bring to the table now?
Right.
I just. Then we was talking about this earlier. I just really all you got to do is be feminine at the crib for me. You know what I'm saying? Be submissive. Like I'll take care of the rest. Like, but now it just comes with too much.
Like, give me an example of being feminine at home. What would that look like to you?
Being feminine at the crib,
Yeah.
shit. Just what I would need would be shit. Just pull up on me like I walk in the door. You ain't even gotta say too much. Can I get you anything? You thirsty? You know what I'm saying? How was your day? I'm like, cool. Leave me alone for a second. Let me move around. Let me get. Ask me if I'm hungry, cause you know I'm hungry all the time. So it's like that's just like that's what's in a woman though. You're already. So
Yes.
sometimes it'd be like you you don't want to tell you don't want to have to say that every time. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays you do.
Hmm.
So it's like that's not what I'm looking forward to. I'm trying to come home and be shit. They was hassling me out here. I'm trying to live like a king at the crib type shit.
Right.
I'll take it.
Right.
You good, baby? Like let me relax and then I'm gonna tap in with you. Type
And you shouldn't have to make six plus figures to have that experience, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, like I was saying, our grandparents, great grandparents that were average earners, they still got the treatment that you just talked about.
No, that's facts. Average earners.
Yeah.
Milkmen. You know what I'm saying? Niggas knocking on the door. Here go your milk. Getting that love. It times has changed though. I'm still
Right.
out here for it.
So, what do you think is the most uh, pertinent contributor to hoflation? What do you think has impacted what variable do you think has impacted hoflation the most? Or a couple variables if you want.
Impacted the most. Uh Shit, women trying to be like men type shit. I think that's the top one. And a lot of women do get turned to that ways because of how men have treated them. So but still you're a woman, like you should just stay that way. Like what a man does, a woman can't. So that's what's been happening.
When you say women are like that because of the way that men have treated them, do
Some
you
of them,
mean
yeah.
what'd you say?
Some of them,
Okay. So when you say that, do you mean the way that they have let men treat them and still choose to deal with them? Or do you mean the way that they've just been treated by men in general?
just like if they had a bad situation with man, because some niggas is off the chain. So that will cause a shorty to try to act like a man. So I was saying at that point, like you don't have to be like that type shit.
Some men are off the chain and it puts women in a situation to act like men. Can you give me an example?
Motherfucking, that's a good one. I can't. I don't think they should act like men regardless. But you know, a scorned woman will probably try to change her ways, but it's still not a good idea.
Hell has no fury like a woman scorn.
Type shit.
And that's real talk. I know that. I know that. I know that. Did you already give your analogy? I hopped off for a minute. No, I did not. My analogy was not given yet. But so, hoflation. What do you think we can do to fix hoflation, Cozy Sims?
To fix it,
Or at least improve it? Something.
man, we damn near too deep in the water.
So say it, Coz.
But not to say that it's still not great women out there type shit. Like you just as men, we
Facts.
just gotta bro, we just gotta, you know what I'm saying? We some people be saying that we not the prize or something. Like we really the prize too. Like I'm trying to take care of the household. You really ain't gotta do much. I
Hmm.
got you. You gonna take care of me like I'm gonna take care of you. It's 50-50, like, and that's how it should be. But it's some of them still out here that's willing to work with you, to understand that you really like they trust you. They trust in your opinion that you can lead the family. Like some of them be trying to, no, we doing it this way. No, we not. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Yes. No, I'm with you. Um, and I was watching a video earlier where one woman was saying, I might have to actually react to this later on, but she was basically saying if we're both paying bills, then you can't expect me to cook and clean and this and that. For one, yes, you can. Because at any point of the day, if somebody breaks in the house while both of y'all are in there, who's gonna do the protecting?
Unless you know Taekwondo, man. What
And
we
even if
doing
you
here?
do, right? Yeah, like let's be serious. There is um random acts of vandalism, all types of stuff, and most of the time that stuff happens when those homes that are targeted with homes that they know there's no man inside of. Um, I know women who are talking about they hang out with their friends whose their friends are in toxic relationships, who their boyfriend will come over there and try to harass them and see if she's got people there and stuff like that. But that same guy won't go over there when there's men in the house. If he knows there's men over there in the house or a man in the house, he's not going to go over there
Mm-hmm.
because he knows that there's a possible consequence, right?
Type
And
shit.
it's, oh, well, how often do you have to protect your woman and put your life on the line? All the time. Every time we go out, I have to represent what our relationship is about. And I have to represent, hey, this woman next to me is mine. And if that woman is supposed to be mine, but she's out here in the streets, right? And it comes down to me having to put my life on the line, but in the back of my mind, I really know that she's out here in the streets. What do you think? Like that's why you see the a lot of men are pulling out of what I would call traditional roles because they're not getting the traditional results. Why are we going to sit here and put forth all this effort to get back much less in return? It doesn't make sense.
I would agree.
I I want to be dominated and I want to be this. So then you'll also see the women actually want to be dominated in the bedroom, but then be dominant outside of the bedroom. But the type of guys who are dominated in the bedroom aren't the type of guys who are going to let you dominate them outside of the bedroom most of their time.
Facts.
So it just doesn't work. It does not work. And that's why they're out here getting passed and thrashed, mashed and dashed, thrashed and trashed, right? So
Right.
that's why I say men need to tighten up when it comes to the baseline expectations and the non-negotiables. So you have to have things that we just have to have no matter what. Where even when the relationship gets bad, it never goes past this point. And we have to have our non-negotiables to where if it does ever cross this point, we're done. We have to have things that we stand on, because you keep your relationship sound like that. It checks and balances. It keeps the relationship steady because that woman should know, no matter what happens between us, she can't cross this line, and she always needs to be bringing this to the table at all points. She can't neglect these baseline bottom line things, but she also needs to know that no matter what happens, she cannot then go out and do X, Y, and Z, or there's no coming back.
type
You need to
shit.
always be doing this, but you can never, ever, ever do that. There has to be those expectations set, in my opinion. Where you at with that, man? What you think? You
Uh,
looks like you have been. First off, shout outs to Cozy Sims for finally making it here. What's going on, man? You look like you having a long day.
oh yeah, worked all day, man. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good though. You know what I'm saying? Blessed to be here. You know?
That's I know, man. I'm very. Although you late, I'm very glad that you still hopped on the live.
Yes.
We go way back. Cadillac faux flats, or
Oh, flats.
is it faux flats on a Cadillac?
Would go back like fat cray. They go back like fat crayons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I forgot about those. They go back so fast. Huh?
That's it. But yeah, I think women don't there's power in being submissive. That's what they don't understand. There's a lot like if I'm upset sometimes and you just hit me with a soft voice and I'm like, damn, I might finish the argument like that, but I might leave and be like, damn, I was tripping. Let me go fix this type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh. Absolute. Look. Yes. Yes. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so I think that's if women would stay like that. I know it's hard. I know sometimes that shit is unrealistic, but there's a lot of power in that. Just letting your man lead. Like we both really don't know what the fuck we're doing. So at least put your trust in me so I can lead the family. You know what I'm saying? Or what I think is best for us. We weren't given
Y-
no instruction manual. You know what I'm saying?
yes. Yes.
But like you were saying earlier,
Absolutely.
like to to add on what you were saying, if somebody broke in the crib, like I gotta put my life on the line for the whole family type shit. You're not finna hop up and be like, "What was that?" Nah. Uh,
Right.
I think
And if you're in traffic, people if you're in traffic with your family, traffic rate, road rage and shit happens all the time. It
literally,
happens all the time.
yeah.
You're in one of those situations and then you don't have a man in the car. Well, guess what? Good luck.
Cause boy, I tell boys be tripping. It was just a viral video of somebody with road rage that just got laid out.
Or you do have a man in the car, but that man knows that you are for the streets.
He ain't
Good
gonna step
luck.
up.
Exactly. A man isn't going to put his life on the line for a woman who he knows is out here
It's not
getting
his.
throttled and throttled.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
that's how it be, man. That's just it's so much power in just letting him in. You know what I'm saying? How do we gotta handle? Cause he gonna come and ask you, like, what you think about this. You might have another perspective, but he trusts your opinion so much. He already had a decision, but he feeling like we are one. You know what I'm saying? This is a group. This is a group thing. I'm gonna see what this talking about. You know what I'm saying? So he might listen to you all the time.
Hmm.
He gonna have his own decisions. You know what I'm saying? But when he do come to you, that's your leadership, bro.
Right, like you said, he might come to you all the time just to hear what he has to say, but at the end of the day, he's going to make his own decisions because that's his job as the leader.
Type shit.
you know, and you can't get mad because if he comes to you and he doesn't end up going with the decision that you said you would like to do, you still can't get mad. He came to you to hear you out. He took in and considered
He did.
your
He did.
opinion,
He did what?
considered their opinion.
Come on, man.
But if your opinion doesn't match up with what he ultimately decides is best, then you chose that man to lead you. And so you should then trust in his judgment,
Type shit.
you know?
That's definitely easy, and it's an easy thing for you to do. One of these comments was, what is acting like a man like for women? What would you say?
So traditionally, acting like a man is chivalry. Treating acting like a man is treating woman like a lady. But acting like a man also is dependent upon women acting like ladies.
So how would a woman act
Okay?
like a man?
Because a man can't act like a man to a woman who's also acting like a man. Because men don't treat women like ladies. So if a woman is acting like a lady, a man isn't going to treat a woman like a lady because that's not how she's acting. Does that make sense? I'm not going to treat you like a lady, right?
Type shit.
So I'm not going to treat a lady who's acting like you like a lady.
Type shit.
You see, it doesn't make sense. But traditionally, a man acting like a man is um the traditional provision, providing, protecting, and making sure that they are logically making their next moves based on logic. So that way, we have a plan for the future that is based on logic. It is making sure that everything is being grounded. The decisions are being made from a logical perspective and not an emotional perspective,
Type shit.
you know.
I think when, let's say it's a disagreement, right, for a man and a woman, even just you would get so much across. So when two men yelling at each other, like when you that's normally about to be a fight. Like somebody about to, you know what I'm saying, get active with each other. When it's a man and a woman and they're yelling at each other, but they're a couple, they're in a relationship, that's not really being submissive. Why are you really arguing with your man? You know what I'm saying? I know you're
Unless you,
upset. You said what?
like you said, unless you willing to take it there and you know,
Yeah, like I know you're upset and stuff, but like that's one thing where they don't understand. Like if even if y'all are arguing, if you would just hit them with that, just that soft, that little monotone, little the voice that you normally have. You don't got to turn up if you can't talk to them like that. Walk away for a second.
hmm
But it's so much power in just even through arguments, talking to your man in that voice, and he be like I said, he might come back and apologize because he was tripping.
facts.
That's a possibility,
If she's not with the masculine energy, because then it's like, well, whatever. Just from my
right?
experience, if when I've dealt with a woman who is submissive, feminine, and I maybe have stepped a little harder than needed, I will always go back and try to smoothen that out. But if we just trying to see who can take it the highest, then hey, I'm gonna get to the highest. And then once I get there, that just is what it is. Because at that point, we're trying to compete for dominance,
Right,
and it's not going to work. And you're not going to dominate me in or out of the bed.
right. Competing,
Okay, I ain't with that
yeah,
getting you.
compete.
You ain't tying me up and pegging me. I'm not with all that.
Yeah, man, that's
To each his own.
that's definitely
To
I
each
mean,
his
I know
own.
single women have to make all the decisions for themselves, for their family. But when you get into a relationship, like being submissive and not being a man is letting your husband man decide what how the household move around type shit. Being submissive, if you got a kid and you see that man trying to holler at that kid and you really don't agree with it, you got to trust him enough to like understand like he's the leader of the house.
So we're not by default that would mean that they're not equal because he's the leader. So that means we're not equal. When you go to work, that's a problem. Women will go to work and they have no problem taking orders and directions and instructions from their quote unquote bosses or their managers and supervisors. But when they get home, they now want to be equal. At work, they can take orders from a man and so on and so forth. But at home, oh no, and then it is incredible.
Right. Because how you don't talk to your boss like that. Your ass will be fired yesterday. Why you coming home with me like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand you're upset, but when you're upset at work, you talk to other employees like that. You don't talk to your boss like that. But at the crib, like, nigga, I'm your boss. I'm sorry. I'm paying these bills. We thugging out here together. Like, I'm gonna protect you. So shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going to be much less prone to talk to a chick that's talking to you as if she's down to go blow for blow.
Yeah,
Like,
and it
well, if that's
be
the
like,
case, if you're down to go blow for blow with me, when somebody run up in this crib, make sure you give them that same energy that you've been giving me. Because you gonna fight me on everything. Make sure when somebody run up in here, you fight them the same way you've been fighting me.
you
Come
know
on
what
now.
you know what I seen? I seen something today. I don't know if you sent it to me. Somebody sent it to me. This guy was talking. This guy and it was the dad and the husband or something like that. And this girl was like, "Oh yeah, I don't need no man. This and that. I don't need no man." So later that night, she don't know. She chilling in the crib. They put on ski masks, broke in the house, and like was about to get her together. You know what I'm saying? But she thought it was real. She was asking for help. They took their mask off, and she was shitty.
They did a prank.
Yeah, to show her that
Yeah, to
what
show her.
type
Look
shit.
what happened.
You by yourself,
That
like
honestly, as crazy as that prank is and extreme as it seems,
type
that
shit.
prank should be like hit on on pretty much everybody at some point. Just so they have that experience to put things in perspective on how unprepared they are for those type of circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Put some perspective.
Even if it was one dude, okay, even if
Yeah.
you got skills to get this nigga down, just say you hit him good, he's just gonna fall on you. You know what I'm saying? You might kick him in the nuts. He's gonna fall on top of you. You're 130. This nigga probably two some. It's
Oh,
just,
these no, these women ain't 130 these days.
hey, all right, if you
these,
ain't 180, you ain't a lady.
yeah,
Yeah.
they about, look, I got it pulled up right. Yeah, the average poundage in the
Excuse me.
United States is going up on both ends. But
Oh
yeah, she's gonna be probably closer to 170. And
yeah,
130
yeah.
is like, whoo, maybe, yeah, that's back in the days for these chicks.
It is back in the
130,
day.
these chicks ain't seen 130 since. Wow. Hey, 130.
This
They
bitch
ain't
will
seen
box you.
130.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Look, I'm trying to tell you now, 130 is
130 is
wild
crazy.
in today's time. Uh, share. Do women lose value with their age? Women do not lose human value with age. They don't lose their value as a human. They do, however, in the sexual marketplace lose value. In the sexual marketplace, absolutely. And it takes men a while to build themselves up, and some never even get to the point where they even have as much value as a young woman just innately has in the sexual marketplace. So women do lose value with age in the sexual marketplace, but they also never have to earn value in the sexual marketplace to begin with, because they're innately high in sexual value when they're born and when they hit their sexual peaks. So from 18 to 25, women have sexual value at a very, 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 very high level by basically just existing. For men, in order to get sexual value, they have to actually work and earn their way up and build their way up and collect skills on the way up to put themselves in position to have value in the sexual marketplace.
Facts. You gotta have skills in order to be able to grab a girl. A girl can just get it whenever. She can hit.
Exactly.
We gotta have all types of shit. A car, smooth talk, you know what I'm saying? The walk, nigga, and the eye, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
All that.
So
All that.
bonded. But a
All
man, a
that.
man to go pick up a shorty and she look good at the drive through and she fucking with him. He took, come on, type shit.
Hmm. But if a chick pulls in night the drive through with a nice car, and then there's a guy working in the drive through taking her order, she most likely will never, ever, ever even notice he exists.
Type shit. Won't even look twice. Take my car.
Right.
But
Exactly. Literally. Literally. Hey, you ain't lying though. That is facts.
she
That
ain't gonna
is
good.
facts. I'm finna highlight that, John. I gotta highlight that. Literally though, take my car and turn the other way, just like here. Not even acknowledging, but a guy pulling up in the drive through. You see a decent chick, got a nice whip, whatever, whatever. You see her. Oh, how you
Yeah,
doing?
what you
Yeah,
up?
yeah. It's nothing.
What time you get off? Fuck these burgers.
Real talk.
Type shit.
Real talk. Men do the same question mark. Y'all be yes, ma'am, but want to call your own woman cooking meals a female dog.
Uh, like the bitch word.
Uh, You go ahead and address that, please. I'll follow up.
Not all men do that. But it's like girls call their friends. They call each other that, and girls can call us nigga. We don't call our homies bitch or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I
Period.
feel like it just goes to like you gotta have a level of understanding with your woman. She either gonna allow it or she not. It's like it's what you gonna allow or not. If you don't want a woman who don't take that, move on. If
Hmm.
that's how you talk, that's how some people talk. That's just in their vocabulary type shit. So I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just different type of people and what it's really what they accept type shit. In my opinion, like it, it's just what you know what I'm saying. That's my opinion. What you
Absolutely. Oh, you already know. Look, you can't say it, but
that's, got that up quick.
no, I mean I had it for a minute. It was just on the other side. But that my bitch right there, like it's not.
That's
The
my
thing
opinion.
is,
That's it. Man.
yeah, you
You might look at it like I love
the
you, man. Still,
right. The context in which we're saying it is,
out of love, like
what
your
are we
friends
talking
do.
about?
Ain't I
Yeah, are we
supposed to be
saying
your
that we're
best
saying
friend?
it to them? You know, what'd you say?
Say like she said it to her friends. Aren't we supposed to be best friends too?
Yeah,
You all did. You know what I'm saying? What we really doing here?
yeah. And you think that these same guys ain't calling their? I mean, let's be real. These quote unquote managers or whatever, whatever. I'm sure. I mean, I've had female managers, supervisors, so on and so forth. They didn't talk to me crazy.
type
If
shit.
they did, who knows what I would have called. I mean, most of the time they're showing more like they're going to treat you with a level of respect, so it doesn't even come to that point, in my experience at least. Okay, but again, you're talking about, oh, they say this behind it. I know plenty of men who would never even think about calling their girl a B word when I'm sitting there in my mind thinking this B word. Like, I can't believe this dude is sitting here allowing her to talk to him like this. And it actually makes me sick when I see men let their girlfriends, fiancées, wives talk to them.
Especially with company.
Oh,
What
oh
are you
my goodness.
what
Yeah,
are
in
you
front of
doing?
people
What
too.
are you doing? You don't want me to spaz in front of this nigga. Just come
Not
on.
yeah, not in front of the guys.
Not in front of the guys. Do it when they leave, dog. Like, calm down. And even then, like I said, just talk to me.
Right. Just talk. Talk like you got some sense.
Type shit. And not like you left it at work.
Yeah, don't and for damn sure don't talk to me in a tone that you would never use with your manager,
Super.
boss, supervisor. You don't even use that tone with them, but you have the nerve to come bring that to me.
The audacity.
The audacity, the audaciousness. Oh man,
Yeah, man.
where we at on the questions?
That's where we at. I had
I think we got them all.
yeah, we did.
Granny wasn't working. Oh no, we missed one. Granny was working. For one, I my grandma worked all through her life, basically up until the day she died almost. And uh let's be real, okay? Was Granny married? Because mine was not, which is a big part of why she was working pretty much until the day she died, because she was not married. She was uncovered. Okay? Had my granny been married with the gentleman that she had children with, then she probably wouldn't have worked all the way up until the day she died. That's just how it works. Talking
Type
about granny wasn't working. Oh, granny was working. Trust me. And when granny was working, granny was working, what she did with her earnings was all for the benefit of the family and not just for herself and her own selfish desires. So, if you women are out here working, then you should be contributing, because you get into the relationship working. Why do you expect to then stop? Some of y'all don't want to stop working. If you want to find a man to take care of you, then that's what you should look for, and that's what you should make known and make it clear when you meet this man. But again, a man who meets a woman who is already working should assume she doesn't mind contributing. But if she expresses the fact that she eventually wants to be a stay at home wife, then she needs to have stay at home wife ability and stay at home wife qualities, stay at home wife characteristics, stay at home wife patterns, stay at home wife ism inside her.
type shit.
Like, what are we talking about?
I need food. Like, hey, we don't need too much. Just be just be the woman, dog. I'm gonna take care of this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
A woman's tone, bro. Like when let's say let's say you kicking it with your boys about four of y'all, and y'all out to eat or something, and a lady walk in, like a real lady, you
Hmm.
gonna straighten up. Cause you can tell she a real lady. You ain't gonna cuss in front of her. How you doing, man? Like I hope you doing all right today. But if a bit or a manly woman walk in, like you gonna still be disrespectful and still shoot the shit with your boys, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
Highlight.
but niggas clean up when a real lady walk in. They really clean up. Oh,
Period.
ain't no cussing, ain't no hey man, relax. Like, hold on. Let her move around.
Period.
Come on, man.
That is such a great point. Let's end it right there. That is a great point.
But brother.
When a real lady walks in the room, men just naturally want to present themselves better.
Better.
Like they'll wipe their mouth off, make sure they ain't got shit in their beard and shit.
Type shit.
All that. Yeah, they straightening their shirt,
Come on, man.
fixing their posture.
Because they know we sense that. They're like, oh, let me get. I'm not even right.
Mm-hmm.
Type shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
Very good. Very good. All right, I'm gonna do some quick shout outs in the comments before we get on out of here. Real shout outs to Real Bridgewater as usual. Shout outs to Chair. Shout outs to my man's Cozy Sims 20 for jumping on the live stream with me.
Yes.
Make sure y'all go to Cozy Sims 20 on YouTube. Cozy Sims 20. Cozy Sims on IG, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff, right?
I ain't got no Twitter, but yep, everything else.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Y'all gonna find Cozy Sims 20 on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel, pull up on him. Again, he got some hella good clips on there, funny material,
We got these
um
lives
doing
going
good
now.
work. What you
Got
say?
got these lives going now.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Sir.
Yeah, we
Appreciate you
on the
having me,
live.
my boy.
Yeah, we on the live a couple times a week. Y'all know what it is. Um Man's Eye Review. On that note, we through. Hey, hit my line so we can chop it up after this.
Bad love, my boy.
Much love, brother. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. All right.